Morning, welcome. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. This is Rotimi Aitaya, and we're streaming from the HQ, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm sure you're all excited. West Africa, are you ready? Nigeria is here. And of course, Africa, we're ready. And to the entire world, we're streaming. We're excited. This is the Good Morning Education Show. It's always a great morning here. And we have our bell of blessing ready for you. If this is your first time on the show, please do let us know. We're going to say something to you. We're going to ring the bell of blessing to you. And we're going to have a great time, fantastic time. It's always a great morning on the show. We have our analysts, our guests, ever present to talk to us, to share from their views and wealth of experience on what we need to do on the subject matter being discussed. And of course, you are not left out. You have an opportunity to share your thoughts and comments. You also have an opportunity to ask questions. Please do feel free to ask questions. As we say officially, good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. Good morning to the world. I will be bringing my guest in the studio. And of course, she's revving, she's ready, she's sweet, she's hot, she's nice, she's friendly, she's safety conscious. And name also goes by what she does. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, the Safety Chick. Good morning. Safety Chick, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Fantastic.
And it's good to see you at the headquarters.
Hello, bless you. And of course, Finn Falodun is saying good morning. Finn, where have you been? It's been a long time. Are you in Nigeria? Are you in Egypt? Where are you? All right, we have fantastic people joining us. Thank you to our tribe members for always coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the show. Ruchi, how have you been?
Very well. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Okay, that's good to hear. All right, so while we're waiting for the others, we're going to move straight into the news. And then I'll probably ask you, are there any upcoming events that you would like to share or talk about? Any news item?
That's personally for me. So
Yeah.
I have an online book launch coming up on February 13th. It's a Christian fiction novel, and I'm excited about it because the kinds of reviews I've been getting, they give me goosebumps. Yesterday, somebody from the UK sent her review. The day before, somebody from Ghana, and they all can relate, So I'm excited about what that book is going to do for a lot of women and, well, the men, but majorly the women. I'm just so excited about that. So details, a flyer will be out shortly, but everybody should just know that by February 13th, we're having that launch online. So you'll be able to join from wherever, whatever location interests you. And then, of course, our School Safety Summit is coming up 15th May, 5th edition. I'm so excited that, wow, we mean we've done this for 5 years already. And there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. I've gotten 2 high-profile speakers from outside the country for us, and they're also excited. They all want to be here to, share that knowledge with our educators, and we're in talks with other people to see how this can, be really beneficial. And, like I mentioned earlier, our theme is really something that is very important now with everybody going digital and with all the issues and risks involved. It's really important that we begin to look, make plans for that. So yes, I'm excited about those people. Good morning,
Okay.
Mrs. Adelsi.
Is she there?
I think her video looks frozen. You always laugh every time I say frozen. Why? Why?
Last
Hi,
year.
Hi, good morning.
I don't understand. This your different looks, man. Wow. Wow.
2021 is starting.
That's it with me.
You've been locking down.
Good morning, Mr. Rotimi.
That's some hair shenanigans, man.
We gotta do what we gotta
How are
do.
you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, sir. Last one to the rescue.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Good morning, Titi. Good morning, Safety Chick. Good morning, Rotimi.
Yeah, good morning. So, we're ready for today, and we have fantastic things coming up. So let's just come to the news. I was giving Safety Chick an opportunity to share what is coming up from our end, and she talked about our book launch. She also mentioned the School Safety Summit. It's going to be 5 this year, and I mean, imagine if it was just a baby that is 5 years old. Safety Chick, you have to throw some party for us.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about it because 5 years is a big deal.
It is.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is.
We have to bring out our party shoes and dancing shoes. It's a big deal.
Yes.
Okay. Any news from Titi? Any news from Ifyok? Ifyok, the fashionista, all the way from UAE. Oh my God.
Ha.
Any news? Hello.
No news from our end.
No news from my end either.
Okay. When you're not sharing news, it means you are making news. Okay. Word. Titi, have you missed the bell of blessing? Have you missed the bell of blessing? Yeah.
Mr. Rotimi, you have to ring that bell. You have to ring that bell for me.
Yeah.
You promised.
Yes. All right, welcome to the show. We're going to go to the news segment quickly, and then we encourage you to send in your comments and questions. Please tell us your location, where you're streaming or connecting from. This is the Good Morning Education Show, the best ever and the best there will ever be in the world of education. We speak about things, issues, matters arising within and around the world of education. And just look at our beautiful analysts and experts. They're beauty and brains personified. They're not just beautiful, but they have got brains and they have expression from that brain. Look at Ifyok all the way from UAE. Wonderful hairstyle, but then she also has sense style. Look at Titi all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. She's smiling, but tell me something, she's had sense as well. Safety Chick is safety conscious, but she's also knowledge and wisdom conscious. And of course, talk about Rhoda, talk about Jude, talk about Eben, talk about, come on, KK, one woman squad, a republic in one place. Have you ever had that before? And of course, without wasting much time, very humble me, Rotimi Eitayo, one and only, So let's go to the news, and we're talking about Kaduna, Rivers State. They're denying shutting down primary schools, secondary schools over COVID-19. Did you see that?
But Rotimi, you are coming from there, so you should actually have the.
Well,
luckily that's where you landed from, so you should tell us why the school's shut.
You should give us more information.
First-hand information.
Well, I don't think. I think for records, I think Rivers State is one of those states that resumed on the 4th of January. So resumption-wise, I think they got thumbs up from me. But I don't think I heard anything about shutdown per se. But then, of course, if we follow the news closely, probably maybe one or two came under the radar, and then how it is, everybody just blows it out of proportion. But it's quite an interesting state from what I've been able to gather. When they want to do something, they go all out, and they make sure they get some scapegoat just to justify their coming all out. They have a very funny task force. I witnessed something, but not from the education angle. There was a place I did a training at, and I just noticed that task force go around. So they take your umbrella if you're a company. If you're selling yam, they take a tuber of yam. Well, by the time they go through the stretch, breakfast is ready. So I don't know what. Trust me, it was. If you're selling pineapple, took pineapple out of the. Take it.
That means they
And
must
they
go
just
around with vehicles, because how do you pack all those things there?
yes. There's a van. There's a Hilux van, and they have like about no social distancing. They have about 10 guys in the Hilux van. So once they just drive through anyone that has something that is outside, they take over what they feel is useful. So the umbrella probably will be for the stand when they want to eat. The yam tuber. It was funny. The pineapple guy, the yam tuber guy, they took tuber. They got to crates of drink, 2 crates of drink. I don't know.
Okay. And this happens.
Let's get back to
wow.
I can see breaking news. Nigerian university workers
That's
announce.
Serious.
First of all, as far as I'm concerned, they've not even called off the strike because so can it be breaking news? Do anybody that has got your siblings?
They have.
Have they returned?
They
back in.
Yes. So yes, my younger brother is currently in school. They are trying to do some documentation and all that. So people are in school. And then I know that Funab, one of my mentees, she's going to school on Saturday because they're resuming this period also. So yeah, people have children. Some are planning to go over the weekend. So school has resumed. So I really am not happy to hear that the workers, that's not good. We need to understand that there are feelings involved. You've delayed these children for a really long time, and now you are just trying to turn everything again upside down at the beginning of the year. No, it's not good enough.
Okay, we have another one. Kaduna government sacked 65 teachers. There's a lot coming out from Kaduna this period.
We don't have the details. Do you know why they were?
You say why they were
so
sacked?
I think I saw this news. when he talked, I think it seemed to talk about the competency of teachers. A number of them were I think failed the competency test, and I'm not sure of the number now.
It was also because they had a bloated wage bill. Hello, can you hear me?
Over-bloated what?
There was an issue of over-bloated wage bill. I think that was a trigger. And then,
they had over-bloated something.
Wage
can you hear me
bill,
now?
Wage bill. Salaries, yes, we can hear you clearly.
So 16 out of 65 were among the primary schools. They failed. Some failed. Some were illegally reappointed, while the remaining 51, yeah. Well, there's so much to talk about from that axis. Let's also look at UNILAG set for non-physical post-UME test from February 15th to February 23rd.
This is good.
Okay.
Okay. Do they have
anybody having anyone
capacity to do that? Because it's very good on paper, but do they have capacity to do that? Because I saw something the last week on social media about so I don't want to say much, but let's be
honest. Say it now. What did you see on social media?
Plateau State University. Okay, I know there's a lag. It's taking a while before you all hear me. So I think what are the rejig things?
Okay.
Okay, so Titi, do you want to say something about the Plateau State workers threatening their government?
Honestly, I see the headlines. I would like to have more details. I don't know. Since the main ASU are threatening strike, I think it should be no surprise that the state wants to threaten strike. So the issue is what I'm striking about. To one knows that one can provide a balanced. I don't want to side one side or side the other side. Till I have an idea. But what I would say is that as with anything, they need to just be considerate to all the parties. The parties being the university workers, the government, and then the main people who are affected, which are the students. We know that because of COVID, schools more or less, universities throughout last year did not resume. Between the COVID and the strike, they didn't resume. So all of us are losing. So we as a country are losing. The workers are losing. It's a lot of unproductivity. So we really need to come to a place of compromise so that we can quickly kick off things again. Because remember that there's also a lot of businesses tied to this ecosystem. So for the sake of everyone, let both parties come to a reasonable compromise so that life can continue, especially for the students.
All right. So I think that's all we'll be able to take this one. Or if you want to say something.
Okay, I don't know if it's on my end, but at some point I wasn't hearing anyone anymore.
Wow.
But you can hear us now.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
All right. So we're going straight to the conversation of the day. And we have a topic, and it says, are our teachers created from chance or passion? Very interesting topic. We have a teacher, educator here. We have an IT expert, a consultant here, management and HR personnel. We have a safety conscious person, advocate, and safety advocate person. And of course, you have a development expert and strategist here. So I'm sure our audience will be revving to know what our thoughts are. Good morning, Gideon. Thank you for joining. Thank you for connecting with us. So today, let's talk about our conversation today. Are our teachers created from chance or passion? So let's see, who's going to start? First things first. What exactly do we mean when we say teachers are created by?
Honestly, I knew that this was going to land on my head first before going anywhere else. Chance or passion. I would say that the majority of teachers today, is as a function of chance. Okay. Based on the system we have, based on the economy, no one wants to stand up, spend years in the university and say, I'm a teacher. Well, let me not say no one, the majority of people, the vast majority of people will hardly say, I'm going to the university to study education. What happened to medicine? What happened to pharmacy? What happened to, all those lucrative professions that, you come out and you're like, okay, I'm a doctor, I'm this, I'm that. But when you say I'm a teacher, they're like, what are you teaching? So I may want to start from myself. I went into the university planning to be a teacher. So I'm one of the few, okay, that knew from the start, I'm cut out to be a teacher. I'm cut out to be in the education sector. I'm one of those people. It did not come easy. That decision at some point was going to be changed, because when I look around me and all my colleagues, all my mates are like, oh, okay, I got admission to study medicine. I got admission to study this and that. And we're like, and you, what do you want to be? I want to be a teacher. It wasn't funny, because everyone would look down on you. Why do you want to be a teacher? What can you achieve as a teacher? You're not going to be rich as a teacher. You're not going to be known as a teacher. But I think for me, from the beginning, from home, from church. I would gather children around. I would teach them. So it was just there in every fiber of my being, that I was going to be a teacher. So when I got admission to study pharmacy, and at some point, I just somehow played around that admission and did not get it. Well, and did not go. So I did not resume, I did not register. And I remember, my parents or my father being very angry at me. But then eventually, I think everyone just came to terms with, okay, this is what this girl wants to do and let's support her. And I still remember rushing and signing up for my education course in the College of Education in Port Harcourt then. And honestly, it's a long story, but it was such a challenge to go through that, knowing that I could be so much more, in quotes, okay, with, a degree in medicine or pharmacy. So if I want to relate that to every other person out there, everybody else wants to be so much more than a teacher. So let me just bring this back home. It's time and chance. Okay, time. There's that saying that time and chance happens to us all. But for a teacher, it's beyond your control. So it's when it's beyond your control, you see people now go to say, okay, I'm studying medicine, I'm studying education because that's what they gave me. They just gave me education. And people going to the university, they just gave me education. And I find that it affects the way you approach the career. And invariably, it will affect the output. So beyond passion, what you do with what chance has given to you really matters. So sorry, this is a topic that really drives home because I'm just personalizing it. Okay, so beyond passion, let's say chance happened to you. What takes you beyond that place of chance is what you decide to do with yourself as a teacher. So if you're out there and you're a teacher by chance, okay, there has to be a change for that game to change. Somebody said something to me today. For the game to change, you cannot remain the same. So if you're a teacher out there and chance has happened to you, you have to change your game. You have to change for that game to change as a teacher by chance. So also, sorry. For a teacher who is a teacher by passion, I can tell you this. Passion alone will not give you what you want. Passion alone cannot make you that teacher of teachers. It's what you have over time as, how do I put this now? So I've had to quote and envelope that my passion with utility, with value, with upskilling in order to be relevant in the industry. So if you're a teacher by passion, your passion alone cannot take you to where you want to be. It cannot take you to where you want to be. So I'm going to stop there for now because I feel like I'm just
fantastic.
now, but,
thank you very much.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need people to also understand that when we talk about chance is not a negative word. In fact, if there's anything that we need to understand, is that chance is the best thing that can ever happen to a professional. If you're going to get to a place of proper mastery, and if you want to maintain that level of significance, I think chance is the best gift. Passion has been overrated in most cases, and it has also been majorly misunderstood. Passion needs to feed on chance. That's the truth about it. And you can be passionately stupid. You can be passionately wrong. You can be passionately evil. You can be passionately great. Passion is just like a deep affection for what exists. So you either have deep affection for being lazy, deep affection for being average, deep affection for being super. So when we look at it in the real sense of it, our teachers greatly, without being able to specify data, but greatly need to understand that chance is a big dynamite for them. Because chance is you being able to look at the power of moment, the power of meaning, and of course, the areas that you are able to kind of build momentum into. You look at the diverse challenges across the education sphere
Can I just
within the
start
country
from
and
there?
within the continent. You said what? Safety chick said what?
I said I would like to start my own comments from Chance.
Oh, okay. So,
I would like to
because
begin my own comment from Chance because as you were speaking, it reminded me of something. Yes.
all right, okay. So, let me just finish up. So, I want everyone to recognize that chance is actually something that is majorly within their control. Is also easily accessed. Passion is conditional most times. It's based on what is available. And the biggest, funniest thing I've noticed while working with people as a coach is that passion is easily tricked because the logic that defies passion, right, is most times relative to your perception, you know. And so you find out that a lot of people believe that you plug in passion when things are right, but then the concept of what you mean by things are right becomes relative. So, for example, you go to a particular state and there are no chairs, there's bad roof, the floor is bad, you know. And at the point in time you look at it, I say, this is enough to take your passion away. We need motivation. Then you're not asking, what are you doing with the passion you have? Passion is not when you are vibrating, right? Passion is an expression of your deep affection. It's not when you are raving, you know, like when you say speaker, a motivational speaker speaking and is beating out the sweat and then is vibrating, the tummy is shaking, everywhere shaking, the coats are falling, people are saying, It's not about that. Passion is audible, definitely. It's also visible, but the truth about it is a deep affection. And it's the easiest that is triggered into cowardice. It's the easiest that is tricked away in the place of logic. So, but if I look at it and I say, oh, there, look, anyway, go to continue. Let me go to.
Okay, so yeah, when you were speaking about chance not necessarily being a negative thing, it just reminded me because before we lost my mom ran a school for a bit, and I knew that we had many people who came to apply to teach, and the reason they were applying to teach, they were just standing in. It was just a gap filler, you know, so that when they got something better, they would move. Now we had one lady who had children in the school, but something happened in the family, and then they couldn't meet up with paying school fees and all that. And this lady offered to be a cleaner in the school to exchange her service so that her children would still be able to stay in school. Now, guess what? Because of being in that schooling environment, seeing the way teachers were going about their work, she got interested in teaching. And she told my mom she wanted to start teaching. Yes. So what now happened is my mom had to tell her, okay, you need to do certain training programs and all those sort of stuff to prepare you to be able to do that. And the lady did it. And today she teaches in, I know she has taught in several other schools. So chance can also be positive. It can actually make you see that, oh, there is an opportunity here for me to become more, to make an impact, to mold the next generation. Then another thing that just kept coming to mind as Ifyok was speaking was, why do people not want to be teachers? It boils largely down to perception, societal, personal perception, societal and parental pressure and attribution. I remember when I was in secondary school, I grew up wanting to be a newscaster. That was what I wanted. It was when I got to university, I saw that being a newscaster was going to be too boring for my kind of person. I needed more, you know. But as a secondary school, I knew I wanted to study mass communication, a lawyer, and if you say, hey, mass com, hey, you know, it just sounded like, what's that? So now, if they were thinking that way about being a newscaster, then imagine somebody saying they want to be a teacher, the heart of all the things, you know. And so that's because we grew up in an environment where our parents, maybe because of how things happen in their time, felt the jobs that gave prestige was, being a doctor, being an engineer, being a lawyer. What are you? In fact, I have a lot of schoolmates who they are doctor this, engineer that, barrister this, or architect that. It seemed like those were the kinds of things that parents promoted with success. And so many of them, that's actually what they studied in school. So that perception, that attribution, that success only comes through these kinds of methods now made it look like any other thing wasn't really nice. And then the other thing was the visible examples that children were seeing was not encouraging. Many teachers, in fact, there are just a few teachers from my school that I still have communication with them because they just embodied a lot. They looked good. I know it might look shallow, but this appearance goes a long way because children are what they see. It makes them want to go to check further. So the appearance has to look attractive enough for them to want to explore to the next level. And so many times you would see that. In fact, what is really annoying is when you see teachers in the public school system, because ideally the fact that you are going to teach in a school is what should actually make you to put yourself together more, because you are going to be in front of these young people who are impressionable. But you see people doing it with levity, slippers. So how do you want to encourage? The child doesn't want to be like you, and so it's your appearance and all that is already looks like is what I'm seeing on TV with the musicians, with the actors and actresses, or with the social media influencers in this generation now. So they are making their own decisions based on all the sort of factors. And so this is why many people don't want to go into education. So there are very few people who actually stumbled into education because they had a passion and they really wanted to make a change, impact the next generation. But there were others who just, anyhow. But the thing is, even though it was anyhow that you got into the system, but you got in there, what are you now doing to stand out, make a difference, make an impact in the lives of people that you find yourself? People have gotten in there by chance and they still did amazing. So yeah, I just thought to share.
Okay, just before you continue, I need to also share perspective, so that we get to hear TT, and of course KK is in the building, looking smashing as ever. I think Good Money Education Show needs a fashion segment, because obviously you guys are just oppressing us, or I don't understand. KK is doing her own in Nigeria. If you're doing her own in the Middle East, Titi is getting to motivate them. I think Titi is you people's coach, because Titi is the one that's trying to color me bad. Ogochi is still thinking the church man in Ogochi saying she wants to be home. Ogochi is still in the fasting period. So when she finishes, she now start. Anyways, I need us to understand that really what is happening as we witness in the education sphere, teaching profession to be precise. A lot of teachers are going into the profession, right, by just mere profession, which is really meaning that it's not something of desire. That doesn't mean chance. A lot of us on this show, right, we've gotten into the space out of chance. Not many people have been encouraged to go into it by chance. And a lot of times, people mix the fact that people just do it as chance. That's not chance, not necessarily. That's you just going into it from choice. You don't have a choice. I take a decision to go into it. Now, when people who came into the profession by chance now want to encourage other people, they are not telling people that we need to create teachers out of passion. So the message out there in Facebook groups, the message out there on conferences, webinars, is to raise teachers, to create teachers out of passion. And we know that that is not a balanced diet. We need teachers to be created from chance. So chance is different from choice. Chance is different from passion. A lot of people who get into the teaching profession and the first month, they say, what's going on here? Why? Because passion puts a lot of things. It's a surface-driven thing, full of energy. And by the time you meet the stumbling block, sometimes you are the first stumbling block you will meet yourself. Sometimes it's the system you meet. Sometimes the model of education you meet. There's many things you want to do that it will require a kind of model of education for it to happen. Do you understand? So all those things matter. But we need to begin that conscious drive that we need to begin to get people to understand that teachers should be created by chance, because the value chain of education requires people to step in. And one of the things I believe that I will devote myself to this year is to begin to make people consciously, not everybody, because the truth is, if you start stressing yourself of everybody, you will just dissipate energy. To make people consciously see that value chain as it relates to relevance as of now. That is the chance. I remember, since you've all been talking about scripture, let's talk about scripture a little bit. Time and chance happen to things, right? Time and chance. It didn't say time and choice. It didn't say time and passion. Chance is chance. Sometimes it's just that consciously, I just thought about something. Ugochi, you came into this space out of chance, and then you reinforced it with choice, and then you sugar-coated it with passion, right? If I've had conversations with you for crying out loud behind the scenes, and I noticed that your own is chance. You're just building choice, and now you're making passion into it. Are you talking about KK? Look at KK, she's spitting fire on all cylinders. Having this on administrators, having this, you cannot do this just by choice, right? You are seeing gaps. People who are conscious of seeing gaps and able to plug in value, those people are chanceified. They're not passionified, they're just justified. You understand? So Titi, let's hear your thoughts and then we'll move to KK.
I've been enjoying the conversation, really been interesting. And I like what you said, the fact that we all entered for different reasons. My story is the other side of Ifiok's story, whereby most people, when we are in primary school, we fall in love with our teachers. Our first crush, in quotes, usually is with our teachers. We admire them. They were heroes. We don't know any heroes outside of them initially. So I fell in love with my teacher, and I wanted to be a teacher. That's how I started. I wanted to be a teacher. I thought this was the best profession then. But as I grew up, I started hearing the waves in the marketplace that this was not the profession to choose. There was no money in it. A teacher's reward was in heaven, and I kind of wanted my reward a bit here on earth. So I fell out of love with the profession, and went on to study engineering, which was, what my father did. So the choices are between what my father studied or my sister. Your role models are usually around you. So it was between studying engineering, which was what my dad studied, or studying law, which was what my senior sister studied. I chose engineering. I felt maths was easier. But I'd always had a passion for education. And my own passion for education is not the front of the classroom kind of passion. It's really more in the background, trying to create something that engages me, the student, and makes any other person pass. And when I look through all my life, it had been something that I'd repeatedly done. When I was in secondary school, I used to help tutor some people in my class by helping them set questions that they would use to revise. When I was in university, I was never the front person kind of teacher. I was always at the back. And then by the time I had children, it was the same thing that I did. So in the end, I didn't even know it was a passion. So I won't say it was a passion. So it became a thing of chance. And then I went into it. When I look at my sister, who's currently a teacher there in Dubai, it wasn't passion either. But her chance became her passion. Why did she go into teaching? So, like, Ifiok, her husband relocated to Dubai, and then she was a stay-at-home expatriate mom, and then she felt, oh, you know what, maybe I'll go and help him.
Expatriate mother.
This life was a bit boring. Maybe I can help out at the children's school. And then from helping out at the children's school, she thought, okay, maybe I can take a job offer in it. And she found that she had passion. She in Nigeria here, she was a banker. You know, she studied what did she study now? Insurance. And she went into banking. But I've not seen a teacher more passionate than my sister. So she's taking the chance that was offered, courted it, soaked it in passion. And as Ifyok said, she's kept on developing herself. She's said, created a different story. So when I look at it, whatever brings you in, I feel that boat is, the past. Is what do you want to do now that you're in? How do you want to turn the lives of people around? And when she shares, when school, the term ends, and parents send her letters, she knows that all she did was all what. So that's the reward that she's getting here. So parents send her letters that say, you know what, my son came into your class, he left, he was not the same person. So when I look at it, I'm saying I don't really care what brought you in it. Choice, it was the only apple on the table, it was chance, it was passion. What do you make out of it? Whose life do you impact? And start to create a different narrative. So when we look at, in our own time, it was law, medicine, and all that. Those were the glory careers. But I can tell you that in the life of my children, those are not the glory careers. If you ask my son every day what he wants to be, there are only, of all the children I've asked, there are only 3 careers that come out. The first one is they want to be a DJ, they want to be a musician. Because that's now the glory profession in today's children. They want to hit music because they see all the musicians. The second one that they're interested in is now the new glory career is Hollywood. Whether it's Hollywood, Nollywood, that's now the next glory career that our children are growing up with. And the third one, let's not, and the third one, that's now coming out is, this fintech, this tech is now the next glory career. But what I'm saying is that we need to tell more stories of the glories in teaching. So a glory person is, when I look at, Sal Khan, who has taken technology and education and made it something glorious. It's a new glory for the education sector. When I look like the likes of Kahoot, Quiz, that have started to create, a new glory in the education sector. When I look at the online university, the likes of the Coursera, the likes of the Udemy's, they're creating a new glory in education. So my thought is, it doesn't matter what brings you here. Listen to the story of Sal Khan, what brought him here. It was from teaching his cousin. It doesn't matter what brought you here. Choice, passion, chance. What I'm saying is, what can you make out of it? What legacy, what footprint? And then your legacy doesn't always have to be 1 million people. It can be the 1,000 children that come through you. That in the end, you leave a footprint in the sand of time. And that's where I would end my long talk.
Fantastic. I told everyone that it's going to be a great time on the show today. And I like that smile. I thought Ugochi was going to say O'Shea today, but well, it will come out. So and let's take it a step further. We still are on the conversation on our teachers created, and which is really what we need to talk about: redefining and rediscovering teaching. How do we recreate teachers? And in the place of creation, what should be the processes that we should put in place? I'm going to start with Ifyok on that question. How can we get teachers recreated, so to speak? And then what process should we use to champion this? Ifyok, your mic.
Okay, sorry. So I think it's I want to go from the perception point angle. The way that teachers are perceived needs to change. Okay, it needs to change generally. Even the teachers themselves need to have pride in what they do. You're going in there, whether it's chance, whether it's passion that has taken you in there. what's going to change your game or what's going to keep you there is a grit and perseverance with which you do your job. And, make it what you want it to be. So instead of being as a teacher looking, you yourself looking down on the profession, you need to stand up and be proud of what you do. Like, I'm a teacher, and I'll say it any day, anytime. I'm one funky teacher. And everyone, my children, if you ask them now, what do you want to be? I want to be a teacher. All of them. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I walk into school and everyone is wondering, what's she up to today? I walk into the classroom and the children are happy, So how do you as a teacher personally, look, if I am in your school, it's a whole different story. So because I approach it with everything I have in me. So you have passion, whether it's passion, whether it's chance, do what you have to do and do it well. These are things we learned in kindergarten. And if you have anything to do, do it well. And it's going to shine. You're just going to stand out. So let me put it from that. So personally, as a teacher, as individuals, as teachers out there, be proud of yourself and your profession.
Fantastic.
Then I'll take it to the next.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's quickly hear from KK
Okay.
before we take it to the next level. KK, welcome to the show once again. KK, are you there?
Frozen.
Okay. So if you finish your thoughts in 60 seconds, please.
Okay, so I want to also speak from the angle of the society and the government. There needs to be a change in teacher welfare. Okay, there needs to be a change in teacher remuneration. How do teachers end up? Are they well taken care of? These are one of the most important people for the society. They are in charge of preserving the culture, preserving what we are all about. How are they being taken care of? So I'm going to talk of teacher welfare needs to change.
Fantastic.
It just needs to change.
Okay, so let's quickly get to Titi. Titi, what are your thoughts? Recreating teachers, especially looking at the current demand on the profession. Already we know that we need to do something about the sector, but COVID itself has added to the demand on the change in the sector. So what are your thoughts?
I think there's a new breed of educators. There's a new breed. And it's how do we showcase this new breed? So when I look like the likes of Ifyok, I mean, if I was in her class, I would fall in love. That's how I was falling in love with all my own teachers. I look at KK.
Let's leave the falling in love part.
I look at KK. Even me that I'm following her on social media, I'm falling in love when I see this my correct cousin. So it's there's a new breed. When I look at Rhoda, with all her using data to finish us with all her facts, and then she's still a spray mom of twins. I'm seeing a new story. I follow Ronke Posh. There was something she did recently. There was a video she did recently that was very hilarious. And she did a kind of show the teachers of old not looking nice and what. So the narrative is changing. That's what I'm saying. But we need to push out more of this narrative. Yeah. So they're seeing a new breed of teachers. They're seeing new breed of teachers that are not like the ones they had the mindset. So the more we push out our stories, the more they see this new breed of teachers. I think the more we change our perception. That's why, if you have said it, her children want to be teachers because they see the success, they see the form, they see the impact, they see all that mommy is trying to do to make. And then when we have more of this, you will see that a new breed. It's not an overnight thing. It's not going to be an overnight change, but there's a new breed. So we need to do more of this new breed. We need to see more of these people that. People thought teachers are, leftovers, people that, the rejects. We're seeing a new breed. And so we need to, what I'm just saying, we need to showcase more of this new breed. People that are brilliant. it's not the same old. It's not the same old. It's changing, and then we need more of this. That's all. I think
Yes,
fully
I
back.
totally agree. And I just saw a statement, a line in the comment Filippo put, and that's why I'm laughing. He said some teachers go around looking like victims, victims of the professor. And you know, it's funny, but it is true, and that's where that forms the basis of what I want to share. The first thing is teachers need to ask themselves, what do I want to be remembered for in this space? What do I want to be remembered for? Even if I'm just here for whatever reason that you find yourself here, whether you're just here for a short internship or you're filling the gap, what is that thing that you want to be remembered for? Then work towards it. So you want to make an impact in the life of children. You want to be the best teacher they ever met. You want to be the most fun teacher or the most innovative teacher or whatever that is. Determine what it is upfront and then begin to work towards it. Make daily steps, make activities, do things that would move you in that line. Then the second thing is, I believe there's a role for school owners here. I believe that school owners, school administrators, people who are in charge should be deliberate about encouraging vibrant brands. And a brand does not necessarily mean that maybe you are all over the place, but you should encourage your teachers to be something, to be something, you know, to be something tangible. Don't be the one that they are looking like they came out of the 80s magazine and you are encouraging that. No, you should encourage them to be vibrant. Yes, because if you're encouraging, if you speak up for certain things, like I remember when my mom ran a school that her teachers dressed well because they knew it was the standard minimum requirement. She's not asking you to break the bank. Just ensure that, just be presentable, smell well. You know, those little things matter. And then, of course, if we're asking you to encourage vibrant brands in your school, it means you also must model what you're asking them to do. You can't be telling them you must always wear shoes or wear a little heel or something. Then you are showing up with slippers. No, I know there are some schools that don't allow anybody to wear slippers. Don't wear slippers. Wear it and go somewhere else. Don't wear it here. So, you know, those are just little tips about how you should encourage brand. And then, of course, if you've already mentioned the part of that teacher welfare, most especially in the public space, all those things work together. So you, the individual, deciding what you want to be remembered for, the school leader, school administrator, encouraging their people to look good. Don't encourage suffer-head mentality and all those sort of stuff. And then, of course, teacher welfare.
Okay, can we get to hear from KK quickly?
Yes.
Okay, hi everyone. Sorry, my network has been all over the place. We have so much going on in the morning, so it's tough just not getting on. Okay, so the first thing is, when we say chance or passion, the reality is a lot of times we move into things by chance, right? How many people in the banking sector actually studied banking and finance? Not a lot. It was chance. That's what they got, right? And they understood that within that profession, there were certain standards. So just as Ugochi has said, there needs to be certain standards in the teaching profession. And it's not just looking good, it's even our mindset reorientation to understand that nobody is going to give you the value that you deserve if you do not even value yourself like that. So that's the first thing. And I believe that in our teacher training college, in our coaching sessions, in all these things that we're doing, we need to talk about mindset. We need to begin to do mindset styling so that people even understand the fact that I am worthy. I am worthy of honor, because it's a very honorable profession. Yeah, so that's the first thing. And then the teacher, you need to understand that nobody's going to come and tell you where to buy your clothes, right? Or how to do your hair. You need to want to look good inside. You need to want to be presentable. And again, we need to understand that we are modeling. Just again, as Ugochi said, when you understand model, not just for your students, but even the community as a whole, you would upgrade yourself, first of all in your head and then externally. And there's no point in looking nice when you don't have content. So beyond looking nice and looking great, I also believe that the content is extremely important. So you may have become a chance, but you know what? It's your responsibility to do all that you need to get your content up where it needs to be. All right. So I know we're rounding off, so let me keep it short. Back to you, Rotimi.
Well, it's just an interesting day, and I'm just getting so pumped up and reflective as well. Thank you, Adebayo, for joining. Olatunde Adebayo, Happy New Year. Great to have you here. It's been an interesting one, and I know that the conversation must continue. Thank you, Keke, for that last but punchy input. And of course, if you're for your personal story, that was so interesting and insightful. And of course, Safety Chick always taking us through the different dynamics and turns on it. And of course, Titi for personalizing it as well. This is the Good Morning Education Show. Here you have it. Our teachers created from chance or passion. Whether it's by choice, whether it's by chance, whether it's by passion, the most important thing is you must be deliberate about what you do, be the best about what you do, and in what you do, make sure that you create the right effect. Remember, just taking the mantra of the Good Morning Education Show can do a lot in starting you on the right journey. And we believe, as we end the show today, that you can have that same experience for yourself at work and beyond work, right? Take a chance on yourself today, back it up with passion, make positive choices, and you'll be the best that there ever will be. And we're ending the show with our usual words, and the ladies will take it together as we say,
It's always a great
Good
morning.
morning.
It's always a great morning on the Good Morning Education Show.
all right, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.